You did everything you were told to do. You studied hard. You got the safe job. You were responsible with your money. You avoided unnecessary risks. You chose the practical path, the right decisions, the ones everyone praised you for. And yet, here you are. Your relationship feels distant. Your job feels meaningless. Your financial situation uncertain. You wake up with this heavy fog in your chest, a quiet gnawing thought you don't say out loud. Why isn't this working? I did everything I was supposed to. This isn't failure. This is something deeper. And until you understand it, nothing in life will make sense. The myth of doing everything right. From the moment you were old enough to make choices, your life was guided by a silent promise. If you follow the rules, life will reward you. Study, work hard, be polite, be reasonable, save your money, don't take foolish risks, choose stability over uncertainty. And for a while, when it works, you get the grades, you land the job, you feel on track. But here's the problem. That promise was never about fulfillment. It was about predictability. It was about fitting into the blueprint that keeps society moving. Nobody told you that right doesn't always mean right for you. You can build a life that checks every box and still wake up one day feeling like you're living someone else's script. Because the right path is often just the default path, designed for safety, not meaning. When practicality becomes a cage, practicality is supposed to protect you, but over time, it can quietly turn into a prison. When every decision is measured by, will this be safe, instead of, will this make me alive, you start shrinking. You stop exploring. You stop experimenting. You stop listening to the parts of you that want something different. And here's the dangerous part. The cage doesn't look like a cage. It looks like a respectable career, a reasonable relationship, a sensible apartment. And because it looks good from the outside, you feel guilty for wanting more. So you silence the voice inside that says, this isn't enough, until one day, you can't silence it anymore. It comes out as restlessness. It comes out as emotional distance. It comes out as burnout, even if you're not overworked. You've done everything right, but you never asked if it was right for your soul. The hidden cost of a safe life. A safe life has a hidden price. You trade the possibility of deep fulfillment for the guarantee of mild dissatisfaction. You avoid heartbreak, but also deep love. You avoid risk, but also wild adventure. You avoid failure, but also extraordinary success. And the cost is slow, invisible erosion. You start losing the ability to dream. You stop feeling excited about the future. Your days blur together because there's nothing unexpected left in them. Here's the truth no one says out loud. The practical path is only safe until it isn't. The company restructures. The partner changes. The savings vanish with one crisis. And suddenly you realize you gave up your authenticity for a stability that was never guaranteed. This is why your life doesn't make sense right now. You built it on a promise that was never real. Why your relationship, job, and finances all feel empty. When life starts feeling meaningless, it's rarely just one thing. It's usually the same root showing up in different areas. In your relationship, you chose someone practical, someone stable, dependable. But maybe you never asked, do they ignite me? Now the conversations feel transactional. The love feels routine. In your job, you pick something safe, respectable, with a steady paycheck. But there's no growth, no challenge, no sense of building something you believe in. In your finances, you've been cautious, risk-averse. You've saved but never invested in things that could expand your life. So your money feels like it's just sitting there, doing nothing, just like you. The common thread? Every decision was designed to avoid loss, instead of to create meaning. You didn't choose wrong, you just stopped choosing fully. The identity crisis no one talks about. Here's the deeper layer. When you've lived a life based on right choices for years, your identity fuses with your role. You're the reliable one, the sensible one, the one who never makes a mess of things, and that becomes your worth. So when you start questioning this life, you're not just questioning your job, your partner, your finances. You're questioning yourself. Who are you without the stability? Who are you without the image of being on track? Who are you if you start over? And that question terrifies you, not because you don't know the answer, but because you suspect the answer might require breaking the life you've built, which means loss, which means grief, which means the unknown. But here's the paradox. The unknown is the very place where meaning lives. Finding your way back to meaning. If nothing in life is making sense to you right now, it's not because you're broken. It's because your old map no longer fits the terrain you're standing on. You've outgrown the life you built. The relationship might have been right for who you were 5 years ago. The job might have been perfect for the stage you were in. The financial plan might have made sense when security was your main need. But you've evolved, and your life hasn't caught up. So the answer isn't to throw everything away recklessly. It's to begin replacing safe with true. Ask yourself, what am I avoiding that could actually bring me alive? Where am I settling because I'm afraid to start over? If I could build my life from scratch, what would I keep? And what would I release? Then, start small. One honest conversation, one new risk, one decision based on what you want, not just what you should. Meaning doesn't return all at once. It returns piece by piece with every brave choice you make. Closing, you didn't fail. You simply reached the limit of a life built only on logic. And the reason nothing makes sense right now is because you're standing at the threshold between who you were told to be and who you actually are. One is safe, the other is alive. The choice is yours. But here's the truth. If you ignore this feeling, the rest of your life will be a quiet ache you carry in secret. And if you honor it, you might lose some stability, but you'll gain yourself. And when you finally feel at home in your own life, your relationships, your work, your money, they won't just be practical, they'll be yours.